Nope. Austria has joined against Morocco. So apparently Castile has found some allies. Clearly Austria is worried about France, so has allied with Aragon against them. So we've got Austria involved against the Ottomans. If the Ottomans have moved all of their forces over here, as I suspect they may have, that could be a very big problem for the Ottomans, because they can almost certainly get access through Hungary. Austria and Hungary tend to be good friends, and they have a border right here. And again, England being in this war is actually huge, because if they can maintain that naval superiority, Ottomans can't transport troops back. Okay, so the Aragon did intervene. This is actually a really big war. So it's Aragon started a separate war against Morocco. So Aragon is kind of jumping in to support Castile without really supporting Castile. This might actually be a miscalculation for Morocco now. Let's see it from their perspective. Yeah, they're at war with both Iberian powers. So as much as the two Iberians hate each other, they do not want to allow Morocco in. They don't want to let Morocco have a piece of the pie. And I think that Morocco may well have made a mistake going after Granada. That is nice territory. Yeah, sure. It's definitely nice territory to have. But that's going to alienate you against both Iberian powers, and you kind of want them playing against each other. Now you've just forced them to unite. So this is a big fight. We've got Castile with their plus 20% morale, and also the numbers. They have just sent the Moroccans packing. The Ottomans didn't get there in time, and yeah, you'd be very wise to attack and intercept. Zatavia is just dry lands. There is a river crossing, and you've managed to catch the Moroccans. This might well be a stack wipe. Boom. Moroccan army dead. Gone. Oh, you're right. Austria joined the Moroccans. My bad. So is Austria hoping for a crack at... No. Austria doesn't like... Of course. Austria was very unhappy with Aragon expanding in Italy. This is still HRE territory. Clearly Aragon still feels like... Austria still feels like they've got some kind of claim over this. So they're going to try and separate Naples from that. And also, Austria might well want Italy for themselves so that they can take over the Venetian node and this side. Because that Venetian node is very valuable if you can get the trade feeding into it. It is an end node, which means it's one of the most powerful 3 nodes in the game. We've got the English Channel, Venice, and Genoa. However, it struggles to have money feeding into it. If you have a lot of control over the east, fantastic. You can feed that into Venice and make tons of money. But there is no easy way of getting money in from the west. So the colonies are going to struggle. This is another big naval battle. We've got 6 heavies versus 9 heavies. The heavies are going to be the thing that dominate this. Morocco's just backed out. England's won. Morocco's coming back in again. They're locked in. The Ottomans are not joining this fight. They outnumbered 3-1. 3 heavies against 9 heavies. The English galleys, or rather the Aragonese galleys, are not going to really contribute to this. But again, Morocco sent packing, losing ships. I think that the naval dominance is going to continue here. And I suspect that Morocco is going to lose these territories. Now, what is Portugal going to do? Portugal has a back door. Portugal has an opportunity to expand into Morocco and deny Castile. France surrendered to Vijayanagara? What? No, they didn't. Maybe you mean Castile. Not sure what that comment was all about. Is this going to be the breaking of the Ottomans? Quite possibly, because the Ottomans are going to struggle to reinforce. What the Ottomans probably want to do is cross... Well, no, because you've got Austria doing this. I keep thinking Austria's on the other side. It's weird seeing the Austrians and the Ottomans on the same side. Okay, so the Ottomans are doing the clever thing of trying to hold on to Malaga. I think actually what I would do in the Ottomans side is actually back off to Gibraltar, because this is still... Ooh, we have a crossing. That's just Savoy. That's an AI being silly. That's a silly crossing. You don't want to do that. Because Morocco has still got troops over here. And is that actually a amphibious landing? No. This is actually Morocco attacking into them. This is Highland, so it's a -1. But they have complete dominance of this area, and there's no chance of Savoyard reinforcements. Is this a human Ottoman? This is a human Ottoman. So as I was saying, you want to stick your army in Gibraltar because it's mountains, which means if they attack Gibraltar, they're attacking mountains. If they attack into Malaga, you can reinforce from Gibraltar. It's a fort, it's still a defensive battle, you still have the mountains. There's no real reason to sit here unless attrition is a problem. And I've just noticed Morocco hasn't actually taken a doctrine. Morocco might well want to. Shipboarding maybe galley combat ability if they can force the fights in Almira. But Castile's actually been pretty good forcing the fights in the Straits of Gibraltar, which means galleys are far less effective. Galleys have a huge bonus if they're fighting in inland seas. So it says there, Gulf of Almira, this is an inland sea, galleys will be more effective here. Gibraltar isn't. So the Ottomans will be wanting to force battles over here. I just heard a doo-doo, which is a rejected peace deal. So somebody is trying to peace out here. The Ottomans still have a couple of troops in Anatolia. The Austrians are pushing south through Naples. I suspect Austria wants to break the personal union. I'm going to guess that that's what they want out of this. Meanwhile, the Iberians continue to push south into Granada. So, what Calico could do here is allow Aragon to have those provinces. That's going to mean that Aragon is going to be the one fighting against the Moroccans and the Ottomans if they try to do this again. It is also going to add a lot of goodwill between these two countries. If Calico wants to not fight Aragon in the future, this kind of goodwill could be the type of thing to swing it. Whether or not that's going to be possible, I don't know. Music a tad high, it's just this one song. Not bad viewership again today, good to see you getting close to the goal, man. Yeah, this has been amazing actually. For a multiplayer game to have triple digits is crazy. Take a look at ideas. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Haha, it's a good idea to look at the ideas. So, nation technology. Let's sort this by admin. And let's sort this by players. So, Ethiopia has gone... Oh, for Pete's sake. Can I select this way? No, I actually have to click and we should take a look. Oh boy, that's a big addle. We'll need to take a look at that in a minute. Is Ethiopia still fighting? I'm going to guess not. No, they're not. So Ethiopia has taken religious ideas. He did state his goal is to make as much land Coptic as possible. Ethiopia is one of the few nations, if not the only nation in the game, which is Coptic. So they're going to have to do a lot of converting. So that's a smart move. I'm not sure I necessarily would have taken it as the first choice, but if you want to expand at all, then you're going to want to do that. However, that's locking you out of economic ideas, which means your economic just general ideas, not the actual economic idea group, which is going to mean that your economy is not going to be as strong. It also locks you out of military, and because you are so isolated out here and on your own, all of your surrounding neighbours are going to hate you because they are not Coptic and they're going to want you dead. So you might have what just happened here, where you lose a bunch of territory. Let's just take a look, see what they lost. Yeah, they lost a bunch. They lost an absolute bunch. Right, this is not the interesting thing right now. This is the player war. I want to keep an eye on this. So the Ottomans are hunkering down in Malaga still. What's happening over on this side? I think we should probably do this from the Aragonese perspective. Aragon maybe pieced out Austria? Aragon has pieced out Austria. So what did Austria take? Naples is independent. Austria got exactly what they wanted. We now have an independent Naples. Well played, Austria. That's just broken a lot of Aragonese power away. And this is also going to be good for Calico. And bad for France. But otherwise, this seems to be a bit of a stalemate. I think Morocco is trying to build up some troops, but there's no way that they're going to beat the naval superiority there, so they can't get out. Muscovy. For Muscovy. What's Muscovy saying? Oh, Muscovy just took a bunch more of Novgorod. So Muscovy is consolidating. We should probably be seeing a Russia fairly soon. What do they need to do that? They need to have admin tech and they need to take Novgorod. Oh, they need to core Novgorod. So yeah, they just need to wait for admin tech 10. But they've already got all the provinces they need. Aragon gave Naples the fort in Sicily, yes, which is also... Oh no, it's not the centre of trade. Palermo's. So I think Aragon may have made a bit of a misjudgment there. But then again, getting this pseudo-alliance with Castile to keep Morocco and the Ottomans out of Iberia is probably a good thing. I think that Castile is going to owe Aragon after this. So whether Castile tries to help Aragon retake Naples, and if that means that we have some warming of relations between the two, we shall see. Right, ideas. Let's keep looking at that. Holland, we've already seen. Poland, we've seen. England, we've seen. Denmark, we haven't yet seen. Denmark has also gone maritime, so Denmark is planning to play the naval game. This means the Danish fleet is going to be enormous. So they already get a plus 50% naval force limit modifier from the Copenhagen dockyard. They're also going to get another 50% modifier from the Grand Navy. They are in a very wealthy area, kind of like the Low Countries. There's a lot of farmland over here, which they can exploit with high development, although it's actually grassland rather than farmland, but that's still good. It doesn't give you a bonus to dev cost, but it doesn't give you a penalty either. So, same thing, they're going to be doing really well with the trade, they're going to be controlling the Baltic trade, they're going to be stopping money going into... Well, they're going to be pouring money into Lubeck and then probably stopping it going from Lubeck into the English Channel, which is clearly what Holland was going to try and do, taking control of Hamburg, which is in the Lubeck node, and also Diethmarschen, and they'll probably try to go after Bremen. So I think there's going to be a trade war brewing between the Netherlands and Denmark. I can't see this alliance lasting. The two of them are too reliant on trade, and they're going to be stealing each other's trade. Right, what's happening over here meanwhile? I don't know that it was a good idea to piece Austria out for Naples, because I don't think that Austria would have been able to go after Aragonese home territories, and I suspect you could have got a war score deal with, or rather Austria wouldn't have got the war score to actually force them to release. Releasing vassals is quite expensive, especially when they're the size of Naples. Is this some sort of competition with a prize? Nope. Just pride. And also just an opportunity to play a big multiplayer game. When we started out we had 19 players. 2 of them have unfortunately left because they just didn't have the connection, but that still leaves 17. And I'm really happy that this stream is doing so well. Thank you all so much for turning up. For those of you who are new here, I'm currently doing a push for partner where I'm basically trying to become a partner here on Twitch, and that requires having a monthly average of 75. So every stream that is over 75 gets me that much closer, and a stream with over 3 digits is really good for that. So thank you everyone for showing up. This is going to be a regular thing every Sunday. We're going to be playing this between 3 PM and 6 PM, and I'm going to be here commentating like this. I think this is a better format. I get to see the whole world. It's a more interesting stream for you because I'm not just concentrating on 2 provinces like I was with Tirhut, and I can actually chat to you guys in chat, because usually in multiplayer games I'm so focused on what is actually going on, and I don't want to talk over other people in chat, because there's the whole dynamic going with lots of people in Discord, lots of voices, lots of stuff going on, and I hate talking over them when I'm like discussing and talking analytics and strategies and stuff like that. It just becomes a lot more difficult. So I like this format. I think this is a format that works. And yeah, this war definitely seems to become a stalemate. So what is the war goal? Aragonese conquest of Dara. In fact, let's do this from Morocco's point of view. So the Moroccan conquest of Cadiz, so long as they hold on to Cadiz, which they don't, then war score is going to be ticking up against them. So Castile will be able to get this war score against them. So it's currently -6, so Castile is currently winning. That's going to go much more. They also lost a couple of battles. So right now they could get to -29, -30. So Morocco is likely to lose some stuff from that. In the Aragonese war, however, Aragon is trying to take Dara, which is this province. That's going to require getting over here. There is a large Aragonese stack which can't do a lot else because they can't cross unless... No, even if Portugal doesn't give access, the fact that they don't control Ceuta means they can't cross. They have to own both, not just one. And having military access through the guy who gives you one of them still only counts as having one, not both. So Aragon would have to land troops and take Dara. I don't see them being able to do that. Also, that would mean trying to cross ships through the Mediterranean, and I suspect the Ottomans still have a fairly hefty galley fleet, or at least they should. Generally, the Ottomans do. Like, trying to fight against these guys here, bad move. Don't want to do that. That's going to be up against the English heavies and the Castellan heavies. In the Mediterranean, though, you're up against the Aragonese galleys, which, yeah, they're 20% better, but generally they have less. So I think at this point it would be very pertinent to take a look at the naval power and see if the Ottomans have any galleys. They've only got 9. While Aragon has 18. So no, Aragon also has naval superiority. So I don't see a way of this being a positive result for Aragon. So I think Castile will come out ahead. Morocco will lose a little of land, probably down here. Then Aragon will be defeated. Probably for a white peace, I would guess. Whether Aragon is going to be happy with Castile gaining this territory, I don't know. This is definitely going to add some interesting dynamics to the play. Yeah, let's talk to Ethiopia. That's a good move. That's a good idea. Let me just double check who Ethiopia is. Ethiopia. Turn. That's not their regular username. Let's see. I have a list of who all the powers are. Let's just go to pinned messages. Ethiopia, White Raven. Hey, Raven. Just thought I'd drag you in here and just say, what happened?
Accidentally just got over cocky. I just thought I could take on Adal, and hopefully their allies wouldn't be able to get to me, but I forgot about the lands that are basically uncolonized, and everyone walked through those rather than through all my allies, which weren't in the war.
Right.
So yeah, a bit of an error on my part, really. I just misjudged how the battles would go.
Yeah, I mean, fighting in that area is always a bit dangerous, and yeah, the uncolonized is...
It's incredibly dangerous, and it's, backfired majorly. I was doing so well as well. I was expanding comfortably, doing well, but Adal just got too threatening. I thought I just need to try and take them down with a tech lead, but apparently Tech 5 isn't a high enough tech lead to kind of keep them at bay. I
mean, Tech 5 is still good because you get the extra units, but when they can bring that much, I mean, they had Adal, they had Ajuran, they had more manpower than you did.
Yeah. I just went for it thinking that if I can get them, because what they've been doing is they've been suffering from rebels. So they had a rebel issue, and then they were low manpower, so I saw their army and thought I could jump on them and get them, but they suddenly walked away, and all of a sudden I was in a war and I just couldn't get them out.
Right.
So yeah, it was just a mistake on my part, misjudging what was going to happen. So I decided just to quickly, unconditionally surrender when I realised the war wasn't going to go my way, and hopefully it be less painful than it is, really.
So how do you think you're going to bounce back?
Expand north, hopefully take quite a few of the northern provinces, try and not antagonize the Mamelukes, which is difficult because as Ethiopia you have the whole Mameluke discussion, so you have a kind of already built-in kind of piss the Mamelukes off system, which isn't what I want to happen, but
no,
I may have to face the music and try and keep the Mamelukes at bay. But now, for the moment, I think it's just steadily build up and take all the way up to Mercuria, re-establish myself as a power again in the area, and then maybe push back into Adal once they've had a few of their own, made a few mistakes. So really,
they did take a bunch of your territories. So they might well have separatist issues.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a lot, and also there's Coptic issues as well for them. So
yeah, I was just double checking the religious map mode there, and you did convert all of that stuff. So
yeah, they're going to have the Coptic issue as well. So I'm hoping through that they should hopefully break down a bit and allow me to have a bit more of an easy time of eating them up again. I don't know if you can see now, but I've just grabbed 2 more provinces off of the remaining Jew territory, which was Reconquest War, so that was quite safe war to go for. So
good.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
And you're not like too badly off economically. It didn't cost you too much. You just got the one loan. So you should be able to bounce back.
I can pay it off now. Actually, I'm just going to pay it off. And now not even economically backward. Just have to gain manpower, re-establish myself, and hopefully come back again fighting.
So who are Adal's enemies? Because you could always try and buddy up with them, or just try and...
Adal's enemies
provoke a conflict.
Myself, Kilwa. Actually, Kilwa's a good one to try and see if they want to help out, and Medrabadi. But Medrabadi is where I want to go towards, so I might have to just hope I can encourage Kilwa to move up the coastline.
Kilwa usually has a reason for going after Ajuran.
Yes, so if I can encourage...
Cool. Right, well, the big war just ended, so I should probably find out what happened there. And also, I think Discord just crashed. Yep, Discord just crashed. You back there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. The big war in Iberia just ended, so I'm going to have to go and talk to those guys about what happened.
Sure. I'll see if I can just tab out of this. But on the other got chat.
I'll do it. Okay, let's bring in... Oh man, this is going to be a lot of players. I'm just going to ask them to come and join me. Hello. Can the people that were involved in the Iberian Wars just join me in Commentator room? Because there's a lot of you. Alright, so what happened there?
Alrighty.
I'll let Morocco explain it.
Alright. So, I declared war because I had asked that if Castile wanted me to just put him out of his misery, and he hadn't said no, so I declared. I had pulled Austria in, and Austria pieced out super quickly against what had been discussed. He apparently thought something worked differently mechanics-wise, and it didn't.
Right.
And so it left, and then Aragon just declared war on me because I assume he wanted money and land.
Gotcha. But Austria managed to strip Naples away from Aragon. That's a huge blow.
Yeah. Austria, yeah, it's a big blow, but it didn't help me out very much.
I smashed
Just
the Aragon
myself and the Ottomans couldn't beat
before
them.
Hang on,
Definitely
Bacon. I'm just going to turn you up. You're very quiet.
Definitely helped that we had England in the war as well, because Morocco couldn't cross into Iberia. The Ottomans.
Oh yeah, England did great for them.
Yeah, early on I was really watching for the naval superiority, because that basically did dictate how much the Ottomans could work in this war.
Yep.
And losing the superiority that early on meant you basically locked the Ottomans out, except for what they already had in the area.
Yep.
Well, I was planning on
it's
only
just gonna be
distributing one stack anyways. I wasn't going to put more.
Right.
The tech is so bad.
Oh, I was gonna ally with Castile, but I couldn't because we kind of hated each other still. So I had to enter the war one way or another to help them out.
Well, I did think it was very interesting, like, the one thing which could probably bring about Iberian unity was Morocco overstepping into Iberia, and that's exactly what happened. And
Now we've put it on pen and paper.
I relied on other allies that just weren't able to actually help in the way I wanted. So that was on me.
It's still a very interesting conflict. Like, I'm glad that one happened, because it definitely like resolves a lot of the outstanding issues in the area, and it's kind of putting different power bases starting to slot into position.
Yep.
Yo, Aragon, do you want to unite our crowns into Spain and we both play co-op?
Co-op play Spain.
Well, there was talk about the Polish helping, so I just built another stack in Anatolia.
Yeah, Poland's been very quiet all through this. I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do. Anyway, I just thought
that would be interesting.
Hmm?
That would be interesting. 2 people playing as Spain.
Really interesting, but
we should totally unite our crown. That'd be hilarious. It becomes help.
Anyway, I just thought I would get your feedback on exactly what happened there and outcomes and stuff, and
miscommunications on multiple fronts and lots of mid-war declarations. All right.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Yeah, I think that for me is going to be one of the most interesting wars, because we obviously had the massive rivalries early on between the Iberian powers and France, and then Morocco just doing exactly what they probably shouldn't have done there. Overplaying their hand, taking Granada. They probably should have left Granada well alone, let the Iberians just continue bickering, but now they've just basically forced them to unite. Have they actually allied with each other? They have. We have a Castellan-Aragonese alliance now because of that. And that's really changed the situation in the area, as I thought something like that might. And the fact that Naples is now independent is huge, because Aragon doesn't really have a claim on Italy anymore. The Catholics probably still hate Aragon because the Pope hates Aragon. Let's actually just click on Aragon to see how the Pope feels about them. Yeah, minus 198. That's... Ooh, they are excommunicated. So, Aragon's looking threatened right now. They're definitely going to need to tread very, very carefully now. Had to eat lunch, stomach was grumbling over the voice. Miss anything good in the past 20 minutes or so? Yeah, Castile and Aragon are now allied. Morocco have lost Granada. Aragon lost Naples. A lot of stuff has happened. And the Ottomans have suffered their first defeat. Like, the Ottomans have not been growing as much as I think they may need to have. And the Mamelukes have pushed north. The two have a border here. Poland, Lithuania still being very, very quiet. These guys, I think, are going to be playing something of a kingmaker. Russia continues to Russia. I'll need to think about what to do about Crimea, whether they're going to be protected next session or not. Denmark, also pretty quiet, although both Denmark and France kind of locked out of any big players because of the coalition war with Holland. And France itself just weakened by continual warfare. If you want to see a weak France, then this is the way to go about it. Just force them to fight a lot. Yeah, Aragon's excommunicated because they went after the Pope. They took Rome and then had to give it back again. But in declaring war on the Papal States and taking territories from them to feed their now independent Naples, made the Catholics hate them. So Aragon's going to really struggle diplomatically with any of the AI in the area. And also because France is so weak, it's allowing Burgundy to blob up a bit more. So we could see a fairly powerful Burgundy, especially if they now absorb Flanders and Brabant, which is going to put Dutch plans behind. I think the real victor in this is going to be Poland and England, and to an extent Austria. Actually, Austria's been playing pretty wisely themselves. I'm not sure Austria letting Brandenburg grow is necessarily the best choice, and letting Poland grow is the best choice. But for the moment, these three are allied. So we shall see if that lasts. In fact, I think it's going to be interesting to see what the alliance chains look like right now. So France still allied with Denmark, Aragon and Portugal. Castile allied with Aragon and England. This is a very strong naval alliance, so if these three go colonial, that's going to be fascinating, and especially if their colonial nations start to have their own rivalries, whether this alliance will hold up. But for now, this is kind of the anti-Moroccan, anti-Ottoman grouping. We've got the Ottomans. It's the Satanic Alliance, Ottomans and Muscovy. Muscovy needed an ally. I'm glad that they've got the Ottomans. This is actually very good for blocking Poland, Lithuania. Poland, Lithuania and Austria not allied with Brandenburg. I think that's changed. I think Poland and Brandenburg used to be allied. So clearly there is some kind of rivalry going on between these two. Brandenburg's going to want to form Prussia, and Poland is going to want to do everything they possibly can to stop that. Austria allied with both Poland and Brandenburg. I think that is going to cause them problems long term. They're going to have to pick a side. And in this instance, maybe Brandenburg to keep more of the HRE together. But if Austria allows Brandenburg to grow too big, then the HRE is going to lose a lot of its clout. Because remember, Austria is strong as long as there are a lot of independent states in Germany. And if Brandenburg starts gobbling those up, then Austrian power is going to dwindle as a result. We are going to have the Austro-Hungarian alliance that has already been established. Whether that's a personal union or not, it's not. Is yet to be seen. Yeah, we've got Ireland, who have fully formed up. They are still a march to England. I think this is a very interesting combination. I think we're going to see a lot of colonial powers as a result. We're going to have Kildare, England, Holland, France, Castile, Portugal, maybe Aragon, Denmark, maybe Norway, maybe Sweden. Morocco almost certainly will go colonial. Congo could even go colonial. That would be a very interesting move there. Yeah, this is definitely shaping up to be very, very interesting. Meanwhile, what is Dai Viet doing? Dai Viet is building up their forces once more. They're back up to 12 units. They've paid off their loans. They're making a tiny bit of money. They still control Champa, so their expansion did happen. It just kind of stalled a little bit after that. Orissa, Vijayanagar, Bahmanis, Jaunpur, Malwa, Mewar have collapsed. Oh, that's something you see very, very rarely. Delhi still exists. Delhi and Jaunpur still exist. Oh, Delhi was Sind. Right. No, not Sind. Whoever it is that becomes Delhi. But it's not Jaunpur. So, India, mixed between a lot of players. A lot of different powers, sorry. They're not players. There are no players in India right now. Timurids sitting on the sidelines watching. I mean, actually having such a fragmented India is a good thing, but also these are some fairly large blobs, so they're going to be individually relatively hard to take out. And if they ever unify, then Timurids could be in trouble. Muscovy now going after Kazan. Muscovy just continues to grow. Mindboy actually playing a pretty good Russian game right now, completely blocking the Kalmar Union from spreading east, which is a good move. Poland gobbling up Livonians, Lithuania, Poland, Danzig. We've got a very powerful block here. And the Polish-Muscovite rivalry is going to be another interesting one. In fact, that is another thing we should probably do, is see what the rivalries actually are. We've got 2 minutes more to play, so this game is about to end. Or this session is about to end. And then we'll go into chat and we'll talk to everyone for a bit. So Poland is rivals with Muscovy and the Ottomans. Denmark with England and Burgundy. England with France and Aragon. France with England and Austria. Aragon with the Ottomans and Morocco. Castile, France, Morocco and Portugal. Not with Aragon though. So the Castellan-Portuguese rivalry could still spark off, and the Castellan-French rivalry could still spark off. Where's Ethiopia? Ethiopia with just Alodia. I wasn't really expecting them to go in anything further. Congo! Wow! Since the last time we checked, the Congo has really consolidated their holds. They won that war and have taken over all of this. They've got all of the coastline they can currently control. Their tech is still low. Oh, that's one more thing I should mention. Is we are playing with the no institution development mod, which means you cannot spend development to increase your institution. Institution has to spread through institution spread or through knowledge sharing diplomatic agreements. You can't just spam a single province and get an institution that way, which is going to mean that countries like the Congo and like Ethiopia are going to grow slower. Because they're not going to get the technology, and Daiviet especially is going to be affected by that. So colonial powers just have that extra bargaining chip in how they deal with the other powers of the world. I think that just adds a more interesting aspect, and it means you don't just suddenly get a technological superpower in Ceylon because someone just happened to spam development in one province. So there's a more natural spread of technology. So Ming still techs up super fast because they have a lot of tech bonuses. Right, I think that we're at 6 o'clock, so I'll take a very, very quick look at ideas. I don't want to spend too long on this though. We're still sorted by players, so basically everyone's got them. I think we're going to take a look at the ideas next time. That's going to be something to talk about and look at that point. I want to jump into chat with the other players before they start disappearing, just to see what they say is happening, and see if we're about ready to finish here.
Yes, you know.
Hello, hello.
It's not in Holstein. It's clearly part of the Mecklenburg state.
How about I get Lubeck?
I think we are ending it here, guys.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Oh, we're done for the day?
Just
Done
so
today.
they can go into aspects.
Well, I
Oh,
just
man.
started a war against
Sure,
Serbia.
everybody grab the save game just in case something happens.
That's a good
Want me-
idea.
Wow, that went faster than I thought.
These
Yeah,
multiplayers always
3
do.
hours. 3 hours goes by fast, and we only got like 20 years.
Okay.
That was
That was
fun.
good.
Good save game.
Maybe we can
I
try a
saved
different
too.
host.
I'm saved.
This
I'm
was
saved.
this was fun. I agree.
I
It was a
saved.
good time.
Brandenburg's a bitch.
Yeah, this was fun.
And I'm happy to say
just
the
want you
Iberian
to-
Thunderdome definitely delivering there.
Yeah.
What about the HRE Thunderdome? Let's be honest.
Yeah, what
Everyone
about
to
that
know,
coalition
it's,
war?
Boy, they were
1470.
extremely scared of my one stack, so
How
Guys-
many viewers did you have, Mordred?
We've been
We're
over
100
3
right now.
digits for the last 2 hours probably.
Ooh.
Wow.
Awesome.
We
Yes.
Good stuff.
It's actually been a really good viewership, so I can confirm this will be back next week as a stream. And I've been
Sounds
recording it
great.
as well, so YouTube's going to get it too.
Cool.
Nice. On an interesting
Glad
note,
to help out.
Malacca is now in Indochina.
What?
Proper.
Malacca's in Indochina.
Guys,
Oh yeah, Malacca's taken Khmer.
still have Tech 3.
So I saw a couple of you
What?
starting to take idea groups. So I'm going to talk a bit more next week about what you chose and why. But it's kind of interesting seeing a couple of strategies now definitely starting to form. I'm enjoying this. And it's really cool doing this from the commenter's perspective. I'm glad that I took this risk. Something I'm not used to doing. Commentating on multiplayer stuff. I'm a lot more used to talking about what I'm doing and why, but now seeing what everyone else is doing and potentially why. Yeah, it's super fascinating actually.
I'm glad it was enjoyable for you and that it got good views.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but-
do any of you guys have any last minute things to say? Otherwise, I'm going to say goodbye to Switch.
glory
yeah,
to the
no, I'm thinking it's time for a nap. I got 2 hours sleep, so.
Jeez.
Other
Yeah,
than
well, good.
Yet sitting here crying in its small little corner because of shenanigans.
Those shenanigans were interesting. And I still like, until I got you and talked to you about what happened, I was like, how on earth did that happen? Like, what? How?
It was not fun.
I can believe that.
Oh, I actually didn't get to see the map. Man, Nepal or Bengal is just gone already.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing which was super interesting is Maywar got super big and then just imploded.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're, what, 2 provinces?
Yeah.
Coalition.
They were one of the major
Yeah.
powers.
Oh,
they were the
whoa.
size Mulwa. and they just
Ayutthaya was exploded
disappeared.
too.
Anyway, I'm going to say thank you everyone for playing. I do hope you've enjoyed this. We're going to be continuing next week, same time, 3 p.m. GMT. Thank you everyone for watching over on Twitch. This is going to be a regular weekly thing. We're going to be continuing from here, so it should be very interesting watching the journey that each of the different countries take, and also just the shifting and divergence of the diplomacy and relations between the different countries. I mean, that's always one of the best things out of these multiplayer games. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. That's it from me for today. I will be streaming again on... Actually, I don't know. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. There is no more streams after this tonight. Every stream next week is going to be Total War Warhammer, as is usual for the Push for Partner, because I'm still trying to get these viewer numbers above 75. I will be posting a schedule of that later this evening, possibly tomorrow. There won't be a stream tomorrow, though. I'm going to the pub with a couple of my friends instead. Sorry. But Total War next week. More EU4 community multiplayer, commentated by yours truly, Mordred Viking, next Sunday, and we'll see you guys then. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.